Hey, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I was going to say,
Right.
you having fun laughing at me? Guys breaking
Dude,
my balls.
is it time to get delicious yet?
It's time. Are you ready? I mean, you're not going to break my balls too bad, are you?
No, man, it's all you. Go ahead.
All right. Here we go. Let's welcome from Mob Wives. I'm very excited about this, as you can probably tell. Miss Delicious herself, Natalie Guercio. Natalie, welcome to Totally Driven Radio.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
It's Guercio. I'm good.
So this is your big night, the season finale.
Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Tuning in?
Actually, I'll be on the air, but when I'm done, I will be tuning in. Are you excited? Is the question.
I'm excited, but also, it's sad it came to an end. But we did get another season, so that's even better.
Right, exactly. Season 5 was signed up the other day, so, I mean, that's exciting.
That is really exciting. So, a lot of opportunities are, coming around, and hopefully I can show them on the next season.
Well, I got to tell you, I mean, like, our show and our whole our brand, as we'll say, is called Totally Driven. And you yourself, you're like a totally driven person. Besides, running a business, you're a reality star. Now you're getting into singing, and you're also a mom to boot. I mean, you're a busy person. So, I mean, you are a totally driven person.
Yeah, I drive people nuts too. In the meantime.
Now, was your life like crazy and hectic before you got involved in all this mob wife stuff, or?
I would say I wouldn't say crazy hectic in a bad way. In a good way. Always working, running around, doing the mom thing. It just got extra crazy when I joined the show. Because I had to add all that into already on top of what I already was doing.
Right. And now, being from South Philly, did people in South Philly or friends or old friends try to come out of the woodwork to be your friend again, or?
Oh my God, you have no idea. I'm getting letters from people who've been in jail from Philly, just sending letters to my house. I don't even know how they got my house. They just sending letters to the funeral home. It's ridiculous. But yeah, there's a lot of people that, that will, send me messages on my Facebook and, hey, remember me? There's this one guy that said, oh yeah, I went to school with you, blah, blah, blah. And in 1990, I don't even know what year it was. Meanwhile, I don't even know the guy. I never even went to the school. That time I was probably in 8th grade. It says there's a fake website up with my name, and it says that I'm like 44 and I'm 31. So I have a lot of crazies.
Oh yes, it makes you realize. I mean, I always say, like, people are like not only stupid in this world, but they're crazy. I don't know which is worse.
Listen, I don't think stupid and crazy. I don't think you can be, because nowadays people that are crazy are actually really smart.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess you got a point to that. They keep proving that them every day, and you keep seeing them on the news, which is even worse.
I know.
Now, you mentioned the funeral home, which you've worked there, I guess, for years with your grandfather, or?
Yeah, I started working there in 2010, helping him out. I did all the, all the low end stuff, and to now I'm actually running it. Well, with the show I had to, leave a little bit and film in New York and film all over. But other than that, yeah, I'm pretty much, running it with my grandpa.
Right. Actually, my uncle was just laid out there like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was the last name?
Raggy.
That's how we are in South Philly. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good friends. I'm good friends with Frankie.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. There you go.
Yeah,
small world.
Small world. Yeah, I figured. I figured you guys knew each other because same age and all, and.
Oh God, you should have been at the house that day. It was. I never been to someone's house after someone just passing away. That everybody's just like like laughing, cracking jokes. they were all mourning, but still, you know how they are.
Yeah.
They were just cracking jokes left and right, and I'm like, are you guys okay? I feel a little uncomfortable being here. I don't know what to do.
Well, I mean, my Uncle Frank, he was definitely one in a million. As a matter of fact, my wife talked to him I didn't even get a chance to talk to him in the last few weeks before he passed. And I had just bought a new car last month. I bought a purple Charger, and she was telling him, she's like, yeah, your nephew bought a purple Charger. He's like, what's the matter with him? A purple car? He's not like that. What? Yeah, so it was pretty amusing.
Yeah, he was a nice guy. I wanted to come by and see him, and he was asking for me, but the schedule with New York, and I actually wanted to film with him, and Frankie and the mom, and the show wouldn't do it because they thought they're not going to be able to handle this. I said, listen, this is a man who's dying from cancer. He's bedridden. I said, just the life that he has right now, and knowing that any day, any month, like he could just die. I said that I don't think that would bother anybody. I said, if anything, it just shows more in depth of a deeper side of me of what I do, and really shows, what type of people I deal with and the families, and just because it's such a horrible thing going on, it's positive in a way because he's still smiling, he's still full of life, and
he wouldn't let us come down and visit him. When he first found out about it, summertime, end of summer, we went down and visited him. And after that, I mean, it was just phone calls. He wouldn't let us come down and visit him anymore. And, but he was definitely made for television.
Oh, my God, yes. Listen, they wanted it. He said, bring them, bring the cameras. It's all right. Bring them in.
Here, I'll even give you a laugh because he really the last few years he's also my godfather, and my father died when I was young, when I was 4 years old, so I really didn't know much about my father. So the last 5 years, me and him got very close, and we would go down there a lot for Sunday dinners and macaroni and all, and he really started opening up about a lot of stuff that he went through the years. So being the fan of Mob Wives that I am, this was before you came on the scene, I said to him, do you see the show Mob Wives? Like, what do you think of that? and somebody who you've had a Twitter war with at times, Karen, I mentioned her.
Oh,
and
God.
He's like, she's no good. She's a crumb, I'm telling you. And I was just like, okay.
Yeah, that was fun. That Twitter war happened after this episode that just aired. The tweet that Renee's talking about.
Okay.
I actually tweeted the tweet because what had happened was, I was out. I had a couple drinks, whatever, and the show is already over. I go on Twitter and then I see her write what she wrote. It's on my Twitter. I don't know word for word. But then I also saw underneath that Karen was messaging with her, and it just got me so pissed off because we all didn't know that she was saying that they weren't friends anymore, and then all the stuff that she was doing to Alicia at the time, and then she had just apologized to all of us, and then all of a sudden you're tweeting this. So I went off on her. Because I'm tired. She's always tweeting. She's she's not putting a name to it, but you know who she's talking about.
Sure.
And, I just got tired of saying it, and I went off on her. But you'll see in the episode, too, that just already aired, that she totally reworded the whole tweet, and that is exactly why I tweeted it.
Now, and I'll tell you this, when this new season started, naturally I'm skeptical. Here comes the two new girls. Even though you're from Philly and I'm supporting you guys, I was skeptical. And then the first episode, when you first met,
let's forget about that episode.
I hated you. I was like,
oh my God, I hated. Listen, I hated everybody after that episode.
But you turned yourself around. You really did.
Well, yeah. Well, you got to understand too. It all comes down to the editing. If you look at it, I mean,
sure.
I was there. We were there over an hour. We were talking, and you know how we are in Philly. We'll tell each other our whole life stories because we always like to talk. That's
Right.
basically what it boiled down to. I mean, not to mention prior to that, I got into a fight with my boyfriend. I was, stressed out, traveling back and forth to New York, filming, and then the funeral home, leaving my grandpa. So I just, the fight with my boyfriend really threw it over the edge. So, I got there a little bit earlier, and, I had a drink at the bar. Then when we sat down, I had a couple, and I didn't eat all day. So as we're talking, and I guess, we're there for over an hour, and I'm telling my whole life story. Now, the alcohol's kicking in a little bit. I'm not going to sit there and say, I was drunk. Was I buzzed? Yeah, I was buzzed. I mean, I could walk a straight line, even though I was slurring a little bit. It's just because I didn't have any food in my stomach. But, it's all right. It turned around, and it's so funny now that I'm looking at it. It is funny.
But you turned it around, and it just struck me as weird too, like that you and Alicia end up joining forces basically with Ange and Drita, and it kind of made Renee. I mean, in my eyes, like Renee looked kind of unstable through the season.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say joining forces. I mean, we didn't. My drama follows me. You understand? I don't really like the drama, but I'm on a drama show. But I guess everybody was under the same impression, including Alicia. Like, we didn't want to do all that drama bullshit that's always shown on TV and with my wives, and we kind of we were talking about, we kind of like wanted to bring a different light to it. You don't have to always fight. It doesn't always have to be that way. And I guess just our demeanors on screen with everyone just felt the same way. And then I guess Renee just didn't like it. She already was, let's face it, she was jealous of me. You can't say that she's not. It shows, don't get me wrong, do I love her? Is there a side of her that I do love? Yes. But, she's not always like that. And you could see on, throughout the season.
Now, were you a fan of the show before you ended up getting on the show?
I mean, I knew of it. I watched, a few episodes. I mean, I wasn't, watching it every single Sunday when it was on, but I did catch a couple weeks of it, mainly because, my ex went away, and everybody that was in jail with him was basically all from New York. So they already knew about everything that happened with Junior before it even aired.
Right.
So that got me a little bit intrigued. So when it did come on with that, I did watch it. That one I heard of it, and I didn't watch it yet, and then it came on where it was the day where Junior did go in, and I just so happened to click by it, and it was on TV that day. So I watched like the first 3.
Now, wasn't it originally supposed to be like a whole just Philly mob wives, like the way they did the Chicago one?
I think originally what they were trying to do a Philly mob wives, and they came and talked to me about it, but I don't think it panned out the way that they wanted it because of Chicago, how it bombed. So they changed up, what they wanted to do is, just introduce Philly and New York together.
Right. Now, Big Ange. I love Big Ange.
I love Big Ange. I love her.
She seems
does
like
not
such
have
a
mean
sweetheart.
Jealous. She is, and she so is. Everything you see is genuine. It's 150% her. She has no jealous bone in her body. She has no hate in her body. She doesn't even like. She'll be around the drama, but she doesn't like to chime in on it. You know what I mean? She doesn't really like to make that her forte. But yeah, she's very genuine. She's like a mom. When it's me and her and Alicia together, we're like sisters. When it's just me and Ange together, it's like mom and daughter. I mean, I love that. I love her to death.
Yeah, I mean, when they first brought her on a couple years ago, the instant she came on, I said, star. She's an instant star. And then you see, like, she's just got like a big heart, and she's a real person, and I just love her to death.
Yeah, and from what I hear, from the fans and everybody, and through VH1, through their blogs and all, that Ange really she really came was a lot funnier this year. Really came around this year, and everybody just loved how she was this year even more, because she spoke up, she said what she was feeling instead of being that neutral person. If somebody was wrong, she was like, you know what, you're wrong. Like, I'm done with this shit. You're wrong. Just face it. You're wrong. And that's basically what I think really went on with all of us. Like, you're wrong, you're wrong. You know how it is in Philly. We don't have any hair on our tongues. Especially me. I'm going to tell you how it is.
Now, at any point, like, did you think to yourself, like, what the hell did I get myself involved in?
Yeah. I think that night with the whole Delicious, when we all went out with that, like, yeah, that was the night, like, what the fuck I'm sorry, that cursed. I said, what the hell did I get into? You can curse, believe me. I can, okay. I'm like, what the hell did I get into, basically? And, and then the whole thing with the whole Vegas thing, yeah, it just spiraled from there.
Now, the whole Delicious thing is, like, I guess, taking a life of its own now.
Oh, my God, yeah. It really has. It really has. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, too, because I always said it, and I say it a lot. And since this whole thing, Renee really blowing it up crazy the way she did, I never really noticed how much I really did say it. And everyone who watches the show, everyone says the same thing. Like, oh, my God, I know I say it. I didn't know I said it this much either. So now every time somebody says Delicious, even if I see a commercial with Delicious, like, I'm thinking of that night, the show. I'm thinking of the fans tweeting Delicious, Delicious. Yeah, it went nuts. I don't think it's ever going to end, to be honest with you.
No, that's you. You're branded now, Delicious. I mean, you got to run with it.
Yeah, well, that's why I have the song, and I have T-shirts now I made on my website. So, yeah, I'm running with it.
The song, like, did you ever think you'd be doing a song? Did you ever have dreams of doing this, or?
No, I mean, I did it to be for fun. I did it for fun. Just basically, it's just, I go to the club, this one club here all the time, and it was really cool to think about having a song being played, especially being on My Wives with the whole Delicious thing. And, when I do go in there, they could play it. And it's actually a catchy beat. I mean, I really didn't think I was going to get into the world of music like that. But I am, I do love music. I've always have. But just being in a song and doing it, no, I didn't think I was going to.
Now, your fellow mob wife, Dorita, she's very into music and all. Has she, like, given you anything about it, just her opinion about it at all, or?
No, actually, I did the song, I didn't even tell the show, like, anything about it until after everything was done, because it really didn't have nothing to do with the show. But, people will say, yeah, it does, you could tell. And maybe, after the fact, with the little kicks that I put into it, into the lyrics with the hello, here we go again, then you could say that came about because of it, because all you hear is delicious, delicious, delicious,
So you want us to play it for everybody?
Yeah, please. Yeah, definitely.
All right, so let's do this. All right, here's Natalie from Mob Wives. And her song, is there going to be other songs after this, do you think, or are you just going to go for the one-hit wonder?
One-hit wonder? I'm never a one-hit wonder. I'm never, maybe, you'll see.
All right, here she is, Natalie. And this is Delicious. And there it is, Delicious, from Natalie Guercio from Mob Wives. You get excited when you hear it?
Yeah, it's pretty fun, and especially tonight it's going to be airing, so it's kind of awesome to see it finally out there, and everyone who didn't download it, who hasn't heard it yet, they can actually get a piece of it tonight. So it's pretty awesome.
Now it's available on iTunes?
Yeah, it's available on iTunes right now.
Cool. And what about the video? When's the full video coming out?
I'm thinking we're going to do the video probably right after the reunion. We're just going to air it. Now
that, all right, before I even get in the reunion, let me write that down. We're going to touch on that. But one thing I wanted to say, too, about the show, I mean, naturally, yes, the Mob Wives show, it's a lot of bickering and craziness. But the one thing I wanted to point out to people who don't realize, as in my co-host, Nick, something you also see on the show is the true friendship, especially between you and Alicia, where you can see the real friendship and the real I mean, it's not just, crazy girls fighting constantly and hanging out and drinking wine and that's it. It's true friends and real friendship. And you can see the touching moments with whatever Alicia's going through with her court cases and all that, and you with, being, between business and a mom and everything else. So, I mean, people got to realize there is more to it than just crazy fighting.
Yeah, definitely. And there's more, to me just alone. I mean, the only thing that's really being shown is, my fun party side and, my relationship side, and nobody has really seen, me with my son. There was only that one, the one little clip where, they saw me working, but nobody really saw that yet. So I'm hoping this upcoming season 5, they'll get more into my life and people can really see who I really am.
Now, it's season 5. What would happen if they bring back some of the old mob wives?
Well, I doubt that's going to happen. But, I don't want to start a rumor. I mean, I know that's not true, but I don't, we won't go there.
Now, your boyfriend, London, he's also on the show. How does he feel about the whole hoopla of the show? Because at times he looks kind of like, what did I get myself into? Why am I here?
No, you know what it is? He does talk a lot in our scenes. It's just, with what they show, they don't really show him talking much. He says it all the time. He was like, "Oh, you hear me saying is yes, babe, He goes, "They make me say nothing. This is ridiculous. Who do I have to talk to?" I mean, he enjoys it. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's fun, but it's also stressful. And sometimes, being in a relationship and having a stressful job, traveling back and forth. What we already are doing, him and I traveling back and forth to Philly and New York. It could take a toll sometimes on us. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I got to crack up too. Like the one scene where Renee came to your house in South Philly, I just cracked up because I said, I've never in all my years seen anybody with a little patio set outside their little house on South Philly.
I know. Stop it. Shut up. I said that to them. I said, wait. They were like, oh, let's sit outside, in the front. We'll get a little patio. They went out and got a little patio set for me. And then they were like, yeah, it's really nice out. We'll sit out front. I said, listen. I said, what are you doing? Nobody sits on their sidewalk with a patio set in South Philly. I said, this is retarded. Oh, but it's really nice. Well, no. So, yeah, I'm right there with you on that one.
Well, it seems like they do that a lot. Like with Angie's Bar, they'll do the same thing. And even like when they showed the funeral home, when you had the Halloween party there, like they had the benches out front for you. Like,
we never have the benches out front at all, ever. Not even on a normal party that we have every New Year.
That's too. So with the funeral, weren't you creeped out by working with dead people, or?
No, I was born and raised in that funeral home.
Wow.
I used to live on the 3rd floor with my mom, my brother. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that's all normal for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess when you're around it, sure, it's like second nature, but I don't know.
Yeah, people ask me, aren't you weirded out? Aren't you scared? I'm like, no. I mean, it's normal for me. It's if you grew up with it, it would be normal for anyone.
Yeah. This is true. So okay, so when you are in Philly, the magic question you got to ask is, where do you go for your cheesesteaks?
Where do I go to get my cheesesteaks? Well, we did bury, Joey Vento, so I do go to Gino's, on those drunken late nights. Yeah, but if I'm home and I want a good, cheesesteak at home and I don't feel like going out, I do go call Frankie and Luigi's. They make good ones.
Nice.
Franco and Luigi's. My brother's here correcting me. Whatever.
The funny thing is, we had Tony Luke on a couple weeks ago, and he says he even goes to Franco and Luigi's.
Yeah, I like their cheesesteaks, and they toast a roll too, and they gut it for you. Yeah. You got to hear me when I go over to Gino's. I'll be like, yeah, let me get this and that. I said, can you gut it and toast it? They look at me like I got 10 heads.
Too funny. Well, tonight, 10 o'clock is the big night, the big season finale. So,
Yes.
I mean, it is a sad thing. I mean, your first season comes to an end, it comes to a close, but there's a lot of big things I'm sure going to be happening tonight.
Definitely. I mean, it's not that bad. I mean, there's already talks of starting the new season by, middle of May, beginning of June. So, I mean, it's not that far away. We had a little bit of a break.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah, it seems like now, like a lot of the, they make the seasons go quicker, like the off season. They get right back to it and start filming and get you right back out there.
This season I was on, they actually started filming late. So we were still filming up until a few weeks ago, the whole season. So.
Oh, really?
The producers and everybody were like, this is weird for us. We never really start late. You guys never really are still filming when, the first episode is on. So, yeah, it was about 8 weeks that 8 episodes that already aired before we were starting to wrap it up.
How many total episodes was there this season?
12. Tonight's 12, yeah.
Is that all? Okay. It seemed like more, because I kept saying to myself each week, like, cool, there's more. It seemed like a long
probably
season.
all the reruns. Yeah, it's probably all the reruns that they have in the marathon. And I catch myself watching it like 10, 15 times, when it's on. Even though that I'm on it, it's like when you're filming it and then you actually see it, done. You kind of appreciate it more, and you see, the work of everybody, how much work they did put into it.
Now, when you see it, like, is that the first time you're seeing it as well?
Yeah, that's 100%. We don't know what's going to happen, what's going to be aired. Yeah.
Right. So you don't know what I guess the other girls said in their little interview segments.
No, not at all.
So do you get pissed off as you watch it at all?
Sometimes, not really. There's sometimes, when Renee says something that, that's just off the wall, I get mad because I'm not the type of person that will sit there and bash you constantly. Like, I'll tell you my opinion and how I feel about yourself. But she's talking about digging holes and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck made her an undertaker? Or a grave digger. Like, who is she? She's trying to take my job.
How about when you watched the whole Vegas thing go down? Like, to actually watch it instead of actually being in the situation.
God. Listen, not for nothing. Like, there was so much that went on that, I feel just with the footage that they had and how great it was, on the production side. I really feel like they could have had, like, I really feel like they could have full episodes of the Vegas. But I guess, there's only 40 minutes in a show, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But, yeah, that actually is one of my favorites. Those 3 episodes are actually my favorites of the season.
Now, how about the reunion?
Just because it was just so much out of life. Go ahead.
Now, how about, like, the reunion, like you said earlier? Like, will you guys do that, or haven't you done it already, or is it coming up? You film it coming up?
Yeah, we already filmed. Yeah, we just filmed the reunion last week. Okay. So it's airing next week.
Interesting.
Yeah, basically whatever happened during the season, that it's basically you could do and say whatever you want during the reunion, and whatever you wanted to say and you couldn't say, you can. So basically, I think I answered a lot of the fans' questions on certain things. Because if you do go on the VH1 website, there are a ton of clips that didn't make the episodes, and they kind of you get to see what the whole thing was. Because sometimes they keep things out, but you got to go on their website, and once you see them, then something that happened in the episode will make more sense.
Right.
Like for instance, there is when her and I, flipped out on each other. And, I told everybody, like, I was hurt, blah, blah, blah. Nobody understood. Like, they all looked at me, oh, well, she was just an employee. She was this, she was that. Meanwhile, I was hanging out with her off camera, and there was a time where her and I gave her a gift, and you could see, like, we were close at one time. And nobody's seen that. Right. But it's on the bonus clips.
Yeah, they try to drive the people to the website.
Yeah, I mean, they don't even really air. I don't even think that they promoted it that much with the bonus clips because I really don't see it,
Right.
on Twitter with them tweeting anything.
Well, there you go, people. Go check out the bonus clips. Now I have to check out the bonus clips, too.
Yeah, definitely. Check them out.
Very cool. All right, well, I want to thank you so much for calling in tonight and hanging out. And before I let you go, though, can I get you to cut a quick ID for me? Just, say this is Natalie from Mob Wives, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio?
Yes.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, this is Natalie from Mob Wives, and you're listening to Totally Driven Radio.
Awesome. Thank you. Good luck with everything. Good luck with the delicious single, and keep in touch. And next season, come back on and promote the new season.
I will, definitely. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And thanks, too, for the whole thing with the services with my uncle and all. It was really nice.
Not a problem.
All right, take care, Natalie. Thanks again. And everybody tune in tonight, VH1, 10 o'clock, Mob Wives season finale. And then coming up in a few weeks, the big reunion show. Tune in.
Yeah.
Too funny. All right, Nat, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you go, Nick. Mob Wives education.
You know what? I find it's crazy that, you have a relationship, I guess, with the funeral home and everything.
Mutual
I don't
friends.
know. That's crazy. But you know what? Now that she's off, let me ask you something, because I don't want to offend anybody, but I had a serious question about the episode that I did watch of Mob Wives.
Okay.
Okay, the one, the lady that was invited to the Halloween party didn't show up because she felt that it was a setup. And my question is, what kind of setup? What the hell did she think was going to happen?
Dude, I don't know. I really don't know.
Did she think they were inviting her to a funeral home to kill her?
Dude, that's why, I said to her, the girl Renee, that the one that didn't show up, she's come off this season, in my eyes, very unstable. As a human being, unstable. And the weird thing about the whole, big picture of the whole Mob Wives scenario, okay? The person who runs the production company and is the person that created the whole Mob Wives show and the brand and all that is the girl Renee's sister.
Oh wow!
So I don't know. Maybe it's me, but when I watch it, I think to myself, I would feel weird about putting my sister out like that. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. I'd like to know if other people have the same opinion that I do. But I thought she's come off this season unstable, really.
You know what I found very amusing though is the fact that her boyfriend is on the show that was basically created because she was married to somebody else, right? I mean, I'm not messing that up, right? It's Mob Wives.
Natalie?
It's Mob Wives. So anybody, that had a husband that's in jail now, it's crazy that their boyfriend is on the show. Even if they're divorced or whatever, it's just got to be a little weird.
Yeah, I really don't know Natalie's tie with I mean, she said her ex is in jail or whatever, which I didn't know that. I don't know much about him or anything about him, so I don't know. The only thing they ever say on the show is about her grandfather owning the funeral home. So I don't know.
Well, see, I assumed because it's called Mob Wives that they all were wives of people that are, currently dead or incarcerated.
Well, yeah. I mean, the other ones, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. So, well, all right. That was cool. That was pretty awesome. I'm excited. And the funny thing is, you must have been sitting there thinking, okay, when we do this TV show on the weekend, Bay talks about, 20 minutes and says a few things about his certain shows that he's watched, and here he just talks 45 minutes, like, with all these questions about this one show.
No, well, yeah, but it's awesome, though. I mean, like, I have a goal for myself this year as far as TV Nation goes, and it's to, interview somebody from one of my favorite shows. So, to me, though, it's awesome because you've got to do the same thing that I'm, hoping to do this year as well. Like, it's a big deal, even if I don't watch the show. It's awesome. You know what I mean?
Oh, my goal is Big Ange. Big Ange will be on this show at some point. Believe me. I won't give up until she is. So, all right, well, let's take our next commercial break, and then we come back. We'll have our next guest ready to go, hopefully. Let me see here. Okay, I'm ready. Let's do it.